All right. We are the Independent 88.5 FM. ZZ Ward is on the other screen, an artist who has been to the radio station, I think, many, many times in the past. And you're an Angelino yourself, right? So you're probably holed up somewhere in Los Angeles.
I am now. No, I'm not originally from LA, but I'm definitely now. But I haven't. I've been so proud of living in California through all this, honestly, because I feel like we have some really good local government that's taking good care of us. So
Yeah. I was just commenting on that to somebody else the other day, and God, we acted rather quickly and swiftly, and I feel like we are doing the right things, thankfully, because we can't rely on others to, take care of California for us. So where are you now, and who are you hanging out with, if anybody? Are you seeing anybody? Do you have groceries in the fridge?
yes, I just bought an extra freezer.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been pretty diligent about not going out a lot. I basically am here in my house with my husband and my dog. My dog's right here.
hi, hi, Pooch. What's the
Uh,
dog's name?
Muddy Waters. Um, yeah, so we've been here getting groceries. It's crazy how much time has gone by and how quickly it's gone by, and how much of an adjustment it was for me. I was on the road. I was on a national tour when it happened.
Yeah,
When we went into lockdown, pretty much. So I kind of I got a feeling watching the news and stuff that stuff was happening more and more with the coronavirus, and we made it through Seattle okay, which like right before they went into lockdown, we got super lucky there that we all got to have a great, wonderful memories of show there. And then right like a couple days after I started getting a feeling, I was like, I don't know what's happening, if it's gonna cancel the tour, we canceled the tour. And then flew home from Nashville, or returned the tour bus to Nashville, packed my room up and came home, been home ever since. So it was
yeah.
quite a shock.
How many dates do you think got canceled? I went to the website zzward.com. You click on, shows, and there is nothing there.
Yeah.
Like so many other artists right now.
10.
There were 10.
We say cancel. It's postponed really. I'll make them up, but
Yeah.
10, 10 shows. And the night we decided we had to kind of end it and push all those dates, I was playing a show in Chicago. So that night I did my meet and greet. I met like 50 fans. I had a great show that night, but it was definitely, we felt like we were a little bit of renegades, like running from the law, you know what I mean? Because they were starting to close down everything. But then also trying to be conscious about, keeping people safe. And it was a lot. And I think in the end, there was no other way around it, because everything shut down pretty much immediately after that.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy.
home was like, it's very, I'm sure you and everyone can relate to this, because we're all in this together. You hear people say that all the time. There's moments where it's so surreal and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. And then those moments have really gone away at this point. But then like once in a while to sneak back in, it'll be like, whoa, this is insane.
Yeah.
you know?
It is insane. I think about my daughter, who's so super young right now, but if this is the new norm, this is all she's gonna know, growing up, which is weird.
You think
Um,
it'll be like that though for like 5 years? I
no,
mean,
I don't. I don't think so. I feel like we're doing the right things right now, and with advancements in medicine, I'm sure we'll be all right eventually. So it's crazy to think that the Till the Casket Drops came out in like 2012, and it feels like it was just yesterday, to be quite honest with you. We've played songs, well, in my career at various stations, songs like Move Like You Stole It and Put the Gun Down. I feel like, wherever I'm at, those songs are going to live on the radio forever. And recently on 88.5 FM, we've played Sex and Stardust, and now Break Her Heart just about every day now. And it sounds great. The powerfulness, if that's a word, in your vocal performance, especially on this new track, and the production is just so good. Did you have to? Well, did you do anything different as far as the approach of writing and recording the new record?
yeah, I mean, there's always things. This will be my third album now. There are things that are always different about it. It's a different producer, so that in itself will make it a completely different experience. I think as far as my approach to things, I think over the years, what is unique to me, which is all I can speak to as an artist, is writing is my therapy. Writing is what helps me get through situations, and having the ability to interpret my situation and put that into a song has just kind of been I don't want to say the gift, but that's just what I can do, and so I always just try to do that. It helps me, and it connects me with other people in the end in some way. So that approach to music is the same for me. Different experiences, though, will bring up different lyrics, different times of my life. But we produced a song out in Malibu, at my producer's house. He lives on this incredible property overlooking the ocean, over the PCH.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, super cool. And he's just, he was so amazing to work with. And as far as like capturing the vocals on it, like, he he kind of just he knows once I get in there, it's like, I go for it. I go for it hard. I really want
Yeah.
to. I don't sing too much. I don't want to over sing something to sing it to the point of you don't feel an emotion. You have to just capture that exact moment where you feel it again, and record it. So
Yeah, you mentioned that you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and writing could be therapy, and performing and playing music could definitely be therapeutic. It's crazy, isn't it, that you could write your own thoughts down on paper and sort of bring a song to fruition, and people who listen to it just kind of relate sometimes to what you're saying, even though it's like your own personal assessment of things. Sometimes
yeah.
people just connect because it's all sort of a human experience that people could relate to. It's crazy.
Totally. I don't. It's even saying that. It's like I can't really wrap my head around how people connect with my music, to be honest, because I don't know. It's just this weird thing, For me, it's like it's stuff that I wrote about how I was feeling, and if it's like taking all these feelings that I have inside of me and bringing them to the surface, and then they connect with somebody else going through a completely different time in their life. And sometimes I'll talk to people and they'll tell me how this song meant so much to me, or I meet people who've tattooed the lyrics on their body, and I can't even
Wow.
claim to understand how that resonates with them, because to be honest, that's not what I'm trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Because the moment I'm trying to go, oh, I want people to relate to this, like that's not what it should be about. And I think people will feel that, like it has to be something that like you're just writing to get yourself out of something, or you're just writing it for you.
Yeah.
Anything with like, even like now we're in quarantine, like cooking. Like I know that sounds really weird, but I thought about it today. I was like, Nancy Silverton probably cooks like she puts her emotions into her food to where, you know what I'm saying? No, it's serious. Like when someone tastes it, they're like, oh my God, like it makes somebody cry because it tastes that good. Like that's what art is.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna Nancy Silverton my songs and hope that people cry when they taste them.
I don't know who is that person.
You just shut up. You don't know who Nancy Silverton is? Really? She owns Moza. She's an incredible chef.
Oh wow! All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna.
we watch a lot of like the Cooking Network and stuff though.
I love that. You don't really, sometimes people interpret songs differently, and sometimes you really have to read between the lines as far as lyrics. But I'll tell you, you don't really mince words with the song "Break Her Heart." It's pretty damn straightforward, and like I said, it's another powerful song that you've written and produced recently. You got such a classic voice. It's almost like timeless, and I know people sort of, they probably talk about artists of the past and say like, oh, you sound like this artist, or you sound like this artist. Are you classically trained in any sort of way, musically or vocally?
No, I'm not classically trained. Like
Yeah.
I was very interested in music through my dad growing up, and I would listen to a lot of female singers like Etta James and Big Mama Thornton and Vera Ward Hall, and Tina Turner, when she did a lot of blues. Tina did before she went like, super pop music. She did a lot. She's an incredible
Yeah,
vocalist.
yeah,
Um, I really loved strong female voices a lot. So there was always like an energy and a love there. And then, my dad was really interested in music, so he would definitely give me a lot of feedback all the time. And I think so. It was a combination of me teaching myself and then having someone give me, some pointers and feedback and things that they had learned. So it was a combination of both. But there's things that I have like rules in my head, you know what I mean, that I follow with my breathing or my positioning, or I think about stuff like that to this day when I'm on stage. And then some
yeah,
of it is just natural.
yeah. That's amazing. I feel like on the air, we could play a song from Aretha and back it up with a ZZ Ward track, but then we could follow it up with like Iggy and the Stooges, and it would just sound fine, you know. It that's the kind of station that we have. I guess we could bend the rules sometimes, being a public radio station. So you take all this time to write and record new music, and I imagine there's probably a lot to write about right now. Um, are you writing? How are you? What are you doing to pass the time? You reading books? You playing music? You watching cooking shows?
It's a combination of everything. I'm definitely writing. I think it's a great time to be a songwriter right now, or an artist. I don't know if my husband is a songwriter, so we're really in touch with a lot of the songwriting community. So I know there are some songwriters that are used to doing a lot of co-writes and things like that, and this might be challenging for them because they're used to writing in more of a social environment. But I usually write a lot by myself, so I'm fine. It's kind of
Right.
the best creative time is when you don't have to come up for air, to be honest with you. And so I've been getting there recently where it's to the point of it's just like, oh, I have no responsibilities and it's awesome. But also I've been trying to, stay active. I'm doing a live stream once a week. There's a part of me that feels guilty for having to postpone my tour. I feel bad for these fans that have been waiting for an album, and it's like I start to put out these songs and then they're starting to get new stuff to listen to. I'm putting out music videos, and then they bought
Yeah.
tickets to these shows, and then all of a sudden it's taken from them. So I feel sort of guilty, like I need to give them some of my energy.
So let's plug the weekly shows. What does that look like? Is it you and a collaborator?
No,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's very free. Yeah, I've just been kind of like figuring out as I go. I've just been kind of talking about things that I like to talk about. I had some special guests. The first couple weeks, I had Diva Zappa, who's a good friend of mine, on. I had Paul Walter Hauser, who's an incredible actor and a good friend of mine. My good friend Camila Bell. So I've had different people. Evan's actually coming on today's live stream, and I'm gonna interview him. So it's been kind of fun, just sort of figuring it out as I go, playing a couple of tunes here and there.
is it
And
like this, or are you in the same room together?
so he's that's funny. You mean my husband?
Well, just yeah,
Oh, you mean with any guest?
with
No,
any
so
guest,
they
sure.
live stream from their place, and then they just can come onto my live stream.
Cool, perfect.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everybody can see us, and they have comments, and then the other person's at their house in quarantine.
Well, that's really cool. It keeps you active and it keeps your fans engaged, more or less. Also, I mean, another way that we can support some of these artists is by going and buying some merch. And I've done that a little bit, partially because I'm sitting home late at night and I'm on the internet and I have nothing better to do. So, like, I'm buying band T-shirts and stuff like that. But it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I feel you. It's a good thing to do right now. I feel, it's affected everybody. It's affected so many musicians too. I mean, my whole band, my whole crew, the bus driver, everybody just canned home. It's like, it's hard. And then like everybody, canceled their tours. So it's definitely tough for for so many people. I mean, not just musicians. It's everybody, you know.
It's yeah, I can't I mean, oh man, I feel so fortunate. My wife's working from home as well, which is kind of a tough struggle because we need to split time and, watch the baby. But I'm thankful every day I'm still getting a paycheck. And, obviously our engineer hooked us up with home studios. So the radio station's still on the air and our DJs are at home still doing their shows. It's amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it is. The message of us sort of being the musical oasis, I guess, during this crisis is really resonating with listeners, and we're getting some good feedback. Like, thank you so much for being there.
Yeah.
There's only so much bad news one could take, I guess, during the day.
100%. Like, honestly, isn't it interesting to hear when you inspire people through what you're doing? Like, you're giving them your energy and keeping the radio station alive. It's like Saturday Night Live gives me life right now. Like the fact that
Yeah,
they're still trying to make this show happen. Like,
yeah.
it's amazing what people, you see in challenging times. You see really incredible things brought out in people.
That's right. And what we're learning now with this whole with technology, it could be setting us up for the future, what we're all figuring out right now. This could be the future.
Yeah.
I've said it I probably in a previous interview, but we might not even pay the overhead of studio space anymore if we could all do our jobs from home,
No,
why
it's
not?
definitely true. It'll be interesting to see how it affects certain things.
Yeah. Um, well, we love you very much, and we'll continue to support your music. And sounds great on the air. And really, you have such a powerful, sort of unique voice. It's amazing, and you have such a gift.
Thank you
And
so much. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And I love to see you guys keeping the station alive right now. You guys are the best. So
thank you. And when the dust all settles, we'd love to have you come by for another performance.
I would love that.
When it all works out. What part of Los Angeles or SoCal are you in right now?
I'm in Studio City.
Cool. Right on. Love the 818.
There you go.
All right. Anything else to touch on before we kind of wrap it up and let you go, ZZ Ward?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm not sure when we're blasting this out, but we're gonna tag you on all the socials when we do, and you got good people working for you over on the label side, so we'll keep everybody on in the loop.
Right on. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Talk to you real soon.
Okay, bye.